lot of us are trying to cut down on spending right now, so I wanted to share with you 7 ideas for planner and organization hacks. All of these items here that you see were either $5 or less, and today I'm going to show you how you can hack these items or personalize these items to either use directly with your planner or to support the use of your planner. Today's challenge is to create DIYs from these items that I purchased at a discount store called Five Below. I'm going to start out by using this marbling kit. It comes with gold transfers, paper tags, sheets of paper, chalk, glitter, a pen, and an emery board. You'll need some kind of container that can hold water and is large enough to fit the paper that you are working with. I used a plastic shoebox for this, and I filled it with about 1 to 2 inches of water. So I used the emery board to scrape the chalk, starting with the color that I wanted on the outside of the pattern, and then moved on to the color that I wanted next to this outer color, and so on. Your last color should be the one that you want in the very center of your paper. And this is because as the chalk falls into the water, it begins to spread out to the edges of the container away from the center. And then you place your piece of paper onto the surface of the water and gently push it under. You will have white showing through in the areas where the chalk did not fall, and this is what creates that marbled effect. Now you can add glitter if you'd like, let it dry, and in order to hold the glitter in place, the kit recommends using hairspray. One idea for using this in your planner is punching out shapes to decorate your weekly spread with. Maybe you could use it to decorate your sidebar or full boxes like I show here. And another idea is to use it to make dashboards. I cut out this lace pattern that says today at the top using my Cricut cutter, and then I adhered it to the marbled paper. I added a little more glitter on top and laminated it. And then when I cut off the excess laminate, I was extra careful not to get too close to the piece of paper so that I didn't break open the seal created by the laminate. Then I punched holes in the side. And I made 2 versions of these. One was a sticky note dashboard that I just adhered page flags to, and the other I decided to make into an erasable shopping list of items that I need to purchase online. If you want your title and check boxes to be permanent, then you would need to use a permanent marker like a fine Sharpie. And for the list items, you would want to use a wet erase marker, not a dry erase marker, because a wet erase marker does not rub off unless it gets wet. When you are ready to erase what you've written, you can just use a wet paper towel. These are pencil cases or pencil pouches, and they were each $3. The vinyl that I'm using here was super thick, which I chose to use because it is more durable, but it's also why the vinyl cut setting on my Cricut wasn't strong enough to actually cut through it. So I ended up having to use the light cardstock setting to actually get it to cut, which is why it cut all the way through the vinyl in some areas, but that's okay because it still works. Let's discuss some ideas for planner supplies you could store in here. Highlighters or pens, adhesive tape or glue, small paper punches, whiteout, stencils, stamps, Happy Planner pocket page sleeves and pocket cards, and small dashboards, etc. This is another example of a pouch labeled using the same vinyl. I've actually been using this pouch to store my coupons for over a year, and the vinyl hasn't come off. But I just want to emphasize that there are a lot of different ways to use these pouches. It's just up to you and how you want to label them. This is called a magnetic fashion pocket, and I think it's meant to be kept in a locker. And these are some Papermate Flare pens that I also got at Five Below. I decided to use the fashion pocket to store these pens, and because there are magnets on the back of it, I thought it would be really cool if I stored it on the side of my planner cart. I also really love the rose gold glitter on the fashion pocket. These are storage bins, but I thought it would be really cool to use them to store things like pens or planner clips or sticky notes. And what I really like about them is that they are sturdy, but they're also shallow enough to fit into a drawer. In a previous video, I showed how you can turn this table runner into a planner cover. So if you're interested in learning more about that, I'll go ahead and link the video down below. The next item are these glitter binder clips. These were $1 for 6 clips, so that comes out to about 17 cents each. And I thought that these would be a fun, colorful addition to a planner as a simple page keeper. The next idea is to take this fashion portfolio folder and to turn it into a pending actions folder like the one I showed in my No More Paper Clutter video. So if you want to learn how this works in conjunction with a planner, I'll link the video down below for you. And I'll also give a quick explanation of what this folder is for in just a moment. I chose to make another pending actions folder in addition to the home one that I already have because I want to use it for my office inbox paperwork. And I thought that this one would work well because it comes with 13 pockets, and I also thought it was pretty cute. So to set this up, I used Microsoft Word to create the labels and then printed them onto some clear sticker paper and then cut those labels out and adhered them. But what is a pending actions folder exactly? This folder is where my husband and I keep any sort of paperwork that needs to be taken action on in the future. So if we receive mail that will take longer than 15 minutes to complete or take action on, for example, maybe it's a complicated form that I need to fill out, then I will schedule in my planner when I am going to finish processing that paperwork, and that's usually within the next few days. And then we put that paperwork into this pending actions folder. Another type of paperwork that will go into this folder is paperwork that needs to be brought with us somewhere, for example, to a doctor's appointment. And the third type of paperwork is something that needs to be referenced in the near future, like maybe a jury duty summons. Each tab of the pending actions folder is labeled with the months of the year, and then paperwork is placed under the corresponding month that we plan to take action on that piece of paper. For example, we recently received our property tax bill, so we place that under the tab for December because the property taxes for us are due in December. Then in my planner, I wrote down on December 1st to pay our property taxes, and underneath that in my planner, I wrote See Pending Action Folder. So on December 1st, I will pull out the bill from the December section in the pending action folder and pay the property taxes. These are called squishies, but I'm going to make them into a planner clip. So it comes with these foam animals, brushes, puff paints, and colored paint. I'm going to start by laying down some parchment paper to protect the surface I'm working on. Then I'm cutting a horizontal slit in the center of the foam where I will place the paper clip later on. I'm going to be mixing my paint on this palette, but something like a plastic disposable plate would work just as well, so you don't need to buy a palette. I'm also using a pencil to draw the design that I want to paint on the foam as a kind of guide for later on. If you want to make the colors this lighter pastel color like I did, you'll need to use some extra white craft paint because the amount that comes with this kit is just not enough. To add details, I'm using the tip of the brush handle just because the brush is kind of large for painting small details, so I felt that this would give me more control over the movement of the paint. I'm adding this dog collar, and in order to make the name tag, I'm going to use the 3D puffy paint that came with the kit. You want to make sure that this puffy paint dries completely before you try to paint it. And I'm also going to use the puffy paint to paint a tongue sticking out of the dog's mouth, which I thought would be cute. I really enjoyed painting this. I found it to be really relaxing. Unfortunately, at this point in filming, my camera turned itself off, so I wasn't able to record me adding the paper clip. But I'm going to demonstrate what I did using this hamster instead. After I was done painting, I reopened the hole at the bottom of the foam piece because the paint was slightly covering it up using this blade. And then I stuck the paper clip into the foam up to the point where the prongs were no longer exposed to make sure that the hole is deep enough for the paper clip. Then I added hot glue to both sides of the paper clip on the portions above the prongs and then secured the paper clip in place. You can also add a little bit of hot glue to the opening to help reinforce the paper clip. I had a lot of fun making these and hope you got some ideas for organization and DIYing planner supplies from this video. See you next Saturday. Just call on me.